Guys, want to do a video here and talk to you about some things I've seen this week. I've spent several days working with a few people, both online and face to face, and going over some of their ad structure on Facebook, and also looking at how they're running their campaigns, and also looking at how it's affecting both their sales on Amazon and Shopify. I saw a trend here that I have honestly not seen before. I've seen individual circumstances like this on occasion, but I've had several in a row this week where the people were doing the same thing, and apparently they're following the advice of someone out there, on YouTube or some other platform, and I don't know if they've misunderstood what was being said, or if they just didn't really understand what the end goal was. I think it was maybe a combination of both. But what I'm talking about here is that these people were getting tremendous engagement on their Facebook ads. Just a staggering number of likes and shares, and just really tremendous engagement. And their Shopify store, or stores rather, were seeing a lot of traffic. They were seeing a lot of things added to the cart, and they were seeing virtually nothing being bought. Certainly not a conversion, a sales conversion, anywhere near what you would expect for the type of traffic that they were generating. And the problem was really simple. For some reason, they were all targeting countries that are known to have just incredible levels of social media engagement. And I'm not sure, I believe I know who they were kind of following in terms of advice. And I don't know how he presents the advice, so I'm not trying to call anybody out here or say anything negative. But basically, I think they were being told, to set up engagement ads, and specifically to target countries like Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and some Southeast Asian countries that are just known to have, just this propensity to share things, to like things at a rate just unheard of in North America or in your major English-speaking countries. So they were targeting their ads, in this direction, and again they were just excited at the response that they were getting, but it wasn't leading to actual sales. But what they were doing is getting a lot of emails and a lot of questions about, can they ship COD or something to that effect. And they were asking me to help them analyze this, and the analysis is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. And that is that, outside of, let's just say, the first world, and I'm not even sure really what countries qualify for first world these days, but outside, certainly your English-speaking countries and Western Europe, and most of Eastern Europe these days, and also large parts of Asia. But when you get into the Middle East and into the Near East, frequently the people there don't have access to credit cards or debit cards. And credit cards and debit cards are kind of obviously essential to e-commerce. So even though you can broadcast your ads to those areas, and you're going to see incredibly cheap ad rates. I mean, you're going to get click-through rates that are going to be very, very high, and you're going to get cost per click very, very low. So it seems like a marketer's dream up until you realize that even if the people have the funds available to purchase your product or service, they don't have a means to pay for it. So, if y'all are not properly targeting your ads, and again, I don't know where you might be watching this from, but just let's say if you're U.S. based, and if you're not targeting your ads basically to English-speaking countries, you're probably missing your market. You may be chasing a cheaper ad, at the cost of not having any conversions. If you're in other parts of the world, you have probably developed other means of payment which will work for you. But definitely, I think everyone in the world has to be cautious and has to be aware of the issues that arise when you're marketing into countries where the prevalence of debit and credit cards is very low, and the general public doesn't really have access to payment methods like that. So anyway, just want to throw that out there as a cautionary note. Like I said, it came up several times this week with people that were completely unrelated, and it just surprised me because I might see one of these on average every few months, and all of a sudden I saw several in 1 week. And I think there's someone out there who's kind of broadcasting this idea that you can get really cheap clicks by going to certain countries, which is completely true. But I think either the message beyond that is being missed, or maybe it's not being conveyed at all, that those clicks don't necessarily turn into purchases and final conversions, if you will. So anyway, hope this is helpful. Take a look at your own analytics and see if you're getting lots and lots of clicks and not a lot of conversions, and then look at your ad targeting. There may be something here for you. Hit like and subscribe if you would, and we'll see you in the next video.